Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about another thing because even going out on the weekend and resting my beautiful brain on my beautifulness, awesomeness, to concentrate, to get that beautiful, tasty, delicious awesomeness to you, the world doesn't stop being retarded. So, let's go deal with retard shit. So, from military.com, Space Force CEO who got holiday call from Trump fired over comments decrying Marxism in the military. Well, let me put it this way, just because he talked about this and he stood against those Marxists, it means he is a good leader, because he definitely knows that the filthy commies are actually infesting the military, and that is a security risk because they are destroying it. For instance, the critical race theory. We all know it's a mess, it's a communist Marxist mess. They are designed to make everything weaker, worse. And it's a return of the old Jim Crow era. It's a return of the old nonsensical crap that the world has moved on. Well, at least the civilized world, because China, some countries in Latin America, mostly in Africa, and certain regions of the world still live like that. For instance, Liberia. But overall, the world has moved on. But, here we are. Anyway, let's see, okay, let's read this. Then later on I'm gonna move to the actual other retard bullshit. A commander of the US Space Force unit tasked with detecting ballistic missile launches has been fired for comments made during a podcast promoting his new book, which claims Marxist ideologies are becoming prevalent in the United States military. Turns out he is absolutely correct. Have you been seeing those ads about the US Army recruitment of a woman there with a very butch the mother and other things like that, or the CIA going out of their way to hire woke diversity crap? Well, I certainly have noticed it. Well, since I don't live in America, I haven't been seeing them on my TV, but I saw here on the computer, so he's telling the truth. And not only that idiotic, nonsensical bullshit has been spreading all over the country. Let's take a look at this. From Campus Reform, this is just the main page, so you can see what I mean. For instance, former Ohio state professor sentenced to prison for lying about China ties. If critical race theory was let go rampant, he would still be there. Let's read other titles. Tweeted a movie reference deemed racist will not subject entire staff probably to diversity training. Black affinity housing. Penn State University cancels male-centric junior and senior labels. See, this is what he's talking about. It's getting infested. It's getting everywhere. MSA calls on admin to hire employees dedicated to illegal migrant students. Jesus Christ, it's illegal. Look, the resident advisors across the class made lists of demands to their university, and when the critical race theory is everywhere. He's absolutely correct. Which brings me to this retarded news outlet called Daily Beast, the bottom feeder of epic retardness. The people here are so goddamn fucking retarded that they do not know the difference between a bowl of my shit and a bowl of chili con carne. They do not know the difference. That's how retarded they are. They used to eat crayons when they were kids. They are absolutely retarded. Space Force commander with penchant for conspiracy theories fired. Conspiracy theories. From what you just saw, from what I just commented, from what I just talked about, do you think it's conspiracy theories? It's not! I just proved in this video they are not conspiracy theories. Look at the retard. What the retard wrote. Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Lohmeier, author of a conservative book. It's not even a conservative, it's a factual book that pushes the conspiracy theory that Marxist thinking has infiltrated the military. It's not a conspiracy theory, you imbecilic moron! Have you even been paying attention to your fucking TV, to the internet? Have you? Of course not, because you're a journalist. You're not hired to do actual journalism. You're hired just for activism. Which is why I have very, very little respect for the profession of journalism. And I used to have respect because journalists used to put their life in danger to bring you the factual story of what was happening. Today, not so much. They actually are all about peddling conspiracy theories, activism, and other nonsensical shit. And shit that not only actively, I think I actually did hurt my fingers while I hit the microphone. I got a bit heated up because they are actually costing the lives of people. They are actually targeting actual journalists who does journalism by putting actual violent mobs on top of them, or even peddling conspiracy theories themselves that has led to a few of the things happening in the last couple of months, which I cannot even mention. Because YouTube, fuck you, YouTube. Anyway, Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Lohmeier, commander of the 11th Space Warning Squadron at Buckley Air Force Base, Colorado, was relieved from his post Friday by Lieutenant General Stephen Whiting, the head of Space Operations Command, over a loss of confidence in his ability to lead. Why? Military.com has exclusively learned. The decision was based on public comment made by Lieutenant Colonel Lohmeier. Lohmeier? You're gonna have to forgive me on that. In a recent podcast, a Space Force spokesperson said in an email, Lieutenant General Whiting has initiated a command-directed investigation on whether these comments constituted prohibited partisan political activity. I don't think so. He is warning people what is going on. Lohmeier's temporary assignment in the wake of his removal was not immediately clear. Earlier this month, Lohmeier, a former instructor and a fighter pilot who had transferred into the Space Force, self-published a book titled Irresistible Revolution, Marxism, Goal of Conquest, and the Unmaking of the American Military. So far, I don't see anything wrong on what he said or did. He's pretty much being actually factual. Why did he get cancelled? Probably the Marxists do not like being the light being shed onto them, that people are onto their bullshit. Maybe they did not like that and they decided to fire the guy. Irresistible Revolution is a timely and bold contribution from an active duty Space Force Lieutenant Colonel who sees the impact of neo-Marxist agenda at the ground level within our armed forces. A description of the book reads, Lohmeier sat down last week with L. Todd Wood on the podcast Information Operation hosted by Creative Destruction or CD Media to promote the book. He spoke about the US institutions, including universities. Just showed you guys this. US institutions with the military and media and federal agencies, including the military. Just gave you a couple of examples of that, including media. From Daily Beast article, federal agencies, the CIA with the recruiting ad, and the military, which is also the other recruiting ad I mentioned, that he said are increasingly adopting leftist practices. These practices such as diversity and inclusion training, which is not quite what it's saying here, it's equity and diversity through exclusion. It's not diversity through inclusion. There's a very big difference, which is what many people are having issues with. Because, sorry, this construction here and my diversity higher respiratory tract system is an absolute straight over, so you decided to go and protest. Anyway, where was I? Oh, are the systemic cause of divisive climate across America today? He said, he's on point. From his perspective as a commander, Lohmeier said he didn't seek to criticize any particular senior leader or publicly identify troops within the book. He is absolutely correct. Well, since it's a long article and I've already discussed mostly about all of this, this department, so I'll move on and conclude that, let's see, my intent never has been to engage in partisan politics. I have written a book about particular ideology, Marxism, in the hope that our defense department might return to being politically non-partisan in the future, as it has honorably done throughout history. And right now, I can't click without doxing myself, but suffice to say, the book reached as the #1 book, the most sold book throughout the week. And it reached #1. Because people know there's bullshit. And he was getting cancelled. And we hate when people get cancelled for things like that. So, there's good recommendation for the book. I haven't read it myself, but based on the factual information that I've just presented here, I assume that he does the same and gives more. He elucidates probably more than what I am elucidating right now in regards to the military. After all, he was the man inside the machine. Anyway, let's move on. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you like this type of content, stay right here on youtube.com/Dr. Jester. Remember, fuck you, YouTube. Or if you want spicy and exclusive content, head to bitchute.com/Dr. Jester or minds.com/Dr. Jester for the exclusive and oftentimes spicy content. So, thank you for watching. Have a very good fucking night.